Hello friends. Today I want to tell you about this beautiful gift that I received from a reader. This is La Calavera Catrina, or La Catrina, and let me just show you. You can see the front where she has all these beautiful colors, the lovely decoration at the bottom of her gown. She has braids. Of course, she has a skeleton skull. I'm going to tell you about that. And then on the back, she's carrying some birds. Here, let me hold it up close so you can see. I want to tell you a little bit about the history of La Calavera Catrina, because when I received her, I was so touched, and I thought I needed to know more about her. So she has a beautiful history, but also a very beautiful personal history from the person that gave it to me, my reader Mary, and I want to tell you both of those stories. So first of all, the term La Calavera Catrina comes from a satirical zinc etching created by Mexican printmaker Jose Guadalupe Posada around 1910 or 1912. So this goes back a very long while. And the image always depicts a female skeleton wearing the initial zinc etching, which I'll show you a picture of, shows a female skeleton wearing a fancy hat and smiling wildly, and it is today the symbol of the Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, which happens on November 1st. The term Catrina comes from the slang term Catrin, C-A-T-R-I-N, which refers to a well-dressed person. This image, this initial etching, was a satirical portrait of Mexican natives who Posada felt, the artist, were trying to adopt European aristocratic traditions. So people that got all gussied up in European finery and silks, he was mocking them that they didn't embrace their indigenous culture. So calavera means skeleton, or more specifically skull, and so the well-dressed skull was used as a satiric image and was printed in broadsides, which are one sheet pieces of paper that would be distributed across Mexico. So Posada's most famous quote is, "Todos somos calaveras," which means we are all skulls. And isn't that kind of true? The idea is that deep down, we are all the same, and it doesn't matter how you dress or groom yourself. However, Catrina has not always played such a major role in the American conscious, or even in Mexican history. Posada drew this in 1910, but he died broke and unknown in 1913. But his illustrations had an afterlife. On April 13th, 1944, thousands of people clashed with the police in a huge melee at the front of the Art Institute of Chicago. And the melee was a result of the massive and impatient art crowd who wanted to see the exhibition entitled Posada, Printmaker to the Mexican People. And it featured the prints of Posada, these etchings. And so on display were his calaveras, but the most popular one, the specific canvas, one specific canvas attracted more attention than the others. And this was La Catrina. A large print of her hung on the museum's wall. Audiences saw her featured in the museum's promotional materials. She was even the cover girl of the exhibition catalog. So back in Mexico, she'd been virtually unknown, but in the US exhibition, made La Catrina an international sensation. So then in 1947, a few years after that, Diego Rivera, who was part of the Mexican Renaissance, painted La Catrina in one of his murals, which was called Dream of a Sunday Afternoon in Alameda Park. Let me show you that. So this mural portrays Mexican history from the Spanish conquest to the Mexican Revolution. And you can see La Catrina standing at the center, where Rivera painted her holding hands with Posada on one side and a boyhood version of himself on the other. So Rivera's fame and La Catrina's newfound gravitas because of the exhibition inspired Mexican and Mexican-American artists to incorporate her into their works too. And so that's the history of why we have her today in our culture. So now La Catrina has come to my house in another incarnation of meaning for me. One of my readers, Mary, surprised me with this beautiful piece in memory of her daughter. She told me that her daughter, Anne, who recently passed, loved Halloween and would always bring Mary small treats and decorations for the holiday. So this holiday, Mary wanted to pay it forward and bring a Halloween decoration to me in honor of her beautiful daughter. I cherish my La Catrina, and she is more beautiful and more meaningful to me now that I know she represents the spirit of Anne, a daughter who was well loved and a mother who remembers her with such great fondness and generosity. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Anne.